Hello buddy, welcome to another quick video. Now, we're up in the Lake District at the minute, so I'm going to get a couple of shots we're wandering around, but I want to have a quick chat to you about something I've noticed, which I think camera manufacturers might be missing a bit of a trick. That's down to their marketing. If you look at sort of one of the new sort of camera manufacturers, you'll see the new snazzy camera, they'll give you megapixel specs and what a fantastic video thing it'll do, but that's about it. Then look at what they're doing for stuff like the iPhone 14. Everything is about the fact you don't need a camera. All you're going to need is just this phone. It'll do everything you ever wanted it to do. Is that a good idea? Maybe the camera manufacturers need to step up. So we'll have a wonder. I'm a bit of a natter about it. So here's we're up in the Lake District. It's the sort of place where, you can drop your camera and get fantastic shots. It's ridiculous. There's so much that you can take photos of. I mean, just look in the background there, light hitting the hillside there, absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful conditions. And as we were driving up here, got me thinking, it would be nice to just grab the camera, be able to sort of take shots as we were driving along, because some of the views are absolutely gorgeous. And Tracy got her phone out and she said, well, yeah, the phone's alright, but it's not as good as the camera. The phones that we've got, they're not particularly expensive things. We don't sort of tend to go that way because we spend more money on the cameras. But it got me thinking, you look at sort of most of the new cameras that are coming out, and you've got some fantastic technical specifications. I mean, some of the AI stuff that you've got on the OM1 that I'm using, they've got some absolutely stunning features actually built into the cameras, and there's quite a big crossover with what the phones are doing. But the difference with the phones is you've not got the size of sensor. I mean, you've got, even on Micro Four Thirds, you've got a reasonable sized sensor, full frame, great size sensor, collects masses of light, gives you loads of depth of field, even pushing to the realms of the heavier stuff with the Fuji GFXs and stuff like that. The medium formats. You've got these massive sensors that you just can't do that with a phone. But it seems to be they're doing a few little sort of tweaks on it to try and sort of mock the effect that you get from a bigger sensor. So most phones these days, they come with a multi-camera system. So you've got different cameras actually built into the system for different modes. So you can get a macro mode, you can get things like the wide angles and stuff like that. And a lot more manufacturers doing now as well to increase the depth of field is actually using essentially one of the cameras to take a slightly out of focus image and actually sort of focus stack that in, actually image stack that within the phone to actually give you the final image. It kind of works, but it looks a little bit faked. You can always tell if it's been done sort of as a sort of a phone sort of setup. So I don't think it works particularly well. But the camera that's inside them, they're throwing stupid megapixels at them. But it's on such a tiny sensor. I mean, the sensors can't be sort of built that big because the phones, although they're big these days compared to what they used to be, you just can't sort of pile that much in there. So I think you're going to start to struggle with essentially inherent noise, so that'll have to be sort of pushed out via the use of the AI sort of noise reduction, which in a way sort of defeats the object of actually having the sensors that you can do stuff with anyway. Now in light of this, the camera manufacturers really should be pushing the fact that you don't need all the extra noise reduction with having the bigger sensor. And it makes me worry which way it's actually going to go, because the camera manufacturers don't seem to be pushing their sort of wares into the market that the phone sort of marketers are actually sort of pushing into. Essentially, the phone's encroaching up into the market of what would sort of historically be sort of the entry-level cameras and sort of the mid-range cameras, and they're just trying to grab sales that way. And although for someone that uses a camera like this, you can see the difference when you sort of take it. For the average layman, that they could actually sort of snag into a quite a nice little sort of setup with a sort of basic camera and stuff like that. They're losing sales to people that just buy the phone. And frankly, the cost of these phones are getting astronomical because of all the technology that they have to throw in there. They're charging for it as well. It's reached that point where it's crossed over now. The phone is more expensive than an entry-level camera, yet you'll still get better results with an entry-level camera. But like I said, the marketing is just not with it. do you think? Is there going to be a shift where sort of the lower end, sort of so just into the mid-range side of things, so the entry level up to low mid, is going to end up being replaced by phones? I think if they don't pull the finger out, I think that is going to happen, and I think it'd be a real shame. I'm just taking a couple of shots here, just looking up to Scaffold Pike. I've just spin you around, you can actually see that just up there. One with a phone, one with a camera. Didn't go into high res mode or anything like that, just quick snap with the phone, quick snap with the camera. I'll put them both up now, side by side, see if you can tell which one's which. Me, obviously, I know what I'm looking at, so I can tell which is actually sort of the phone side of it. There's just certain sort of telltales. I mean, obviously I'm using the 1200 Pro on the OM1 as well, so you get a lot more clarity from it, but see if you can actually sort of see on the two. I mean, obviously it's going to be compressed down on YouTube, but yeah, have a look. I'll put them both up now, and yeah, let me know what you think. I know there will still be the sort of the dyed-in-the-wall people that will only use a camera, but certainly a lot of the younger generation, they're coming through and all they know is their phones, and it's going to give the camera manufacturers something really sort of difficult choice, because they're not going to really sort of make anything with the entry-level cameras. So I think they might end up sort of losing sales, and because of it, yeah, it might actually affect the manufacturer's sort of baseline. 'Cause, yeah, the Pro line stuff, it's very good, but yeah, historically they don't tend to make quite as much on the big professional cameras as they do with the entry-level ones. Obviously, it might change in the future, but yeah, that seems to be the way things are going at the moment. It is quite a worrying trend, really. But hopefully, things will sort of move around, and we'll sort of start seeing a bit more of a shift to having, yeah, a bit more sort of marketing savvy people getting involved with the camera manufacturers. I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't be a bad idea for them to actually start employing some of the phone marketers to really push things along a bit. I mean, I think it's giving me looking this way, but if I just spin you around, the lights just kicking off. Can't really see much of a composition at the moment, but yeah, got a couple. Be sort of putting some more images up at the end. But yeah, so I'll leave the video here for now. But just want to sort of just put my thoughts across on something that I think I'm seeing more and more, especially sort of as we're getting some really sort of fantastic cameras coming out now, especially from Fuji, with their new XT50s and XT5s and stuff like that. We're getting a lot of great cameras being put out there, but they're not really sort of being seen by the general people, which frankly is a crying shame, because yeah, it'd be a real shame for some of the camera manufacturers to really start struggling because just basic marketing, really. When you look at the OM5 marketing, they really didn't sort of do a great job of that, which is a big shame, because it's a cracking little camera. They just didn't quite sort of nail it as far as the marketing and actually getting things moving on that side of it. I mean, hopefully it'll work all right for them, but yeah, time will tell on that one. But hopefully, like I said, this give you a bit to think about anyway. And like I say, I'll leave it here for now, but if you have enjoyed the video, please give us a big thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Really helps out no end. But yeah, drop us a comment down below. Let's have a chat, see what you think to it, and see if you think things are going the way that I think they're going. But yeah, we'll leave it there, so we'll see you again on the next one.